dear students, in the last class we are explaining the applications of internet. Let us see internet applications one by one. First one is electronic mail. Okay, so short form is email. Short form is email. Electronic mail or email is a fast, easy and inexpensive way to communicate with other internet users around the world. So it is a very fast and easy and inexpensive way to communicate with other internet users around the world. It is one of the basic and earliest service of the internet and the most used application on the internet. So it is a most used application in the internet too. Okay, email overcomes most of the problems and delays of getting a physical document from one person to another. So then what is the best usage of this email? It overcomes the problem of and delays of getting physical documents from one person to another. So physical document, whatever the document we have prepared, uh, manually if we say want to send that document by post, it will take a lot of time. So if we send through the mails, this physical document will be reached from one person to another person within a fraction of seconds and a fraction of time. Okay, so rather it has a dual advantage of not only being faster but cheaper to use as well as. So this service of sending of any physical document from person to person through internet is very easy, just like as you have written your exam, internal exam, and send your document via PDF to our mail ID, right? So through that we have received your answer script. That is a one of a physical document. Okay, so it is a very cheaper. So some of one of your student has posted your answer script. Instead of coming here, she has posted that answer script. It may be some chargeable, right? So it is more chargeable or maybe less chargeable than your bus fare. It may be depends, but electronic mail is very cheaper than compared to your manual systems. Okay, each user of email has a mailbox address to which messages are sent, and mailbox can access from anywhere and anytime. So if you are using the email means we are having a mailbox, and through that mailbox consists of a mailbox address. If you are using a email means we are having a mailbox. Mailbox is also consisting of a mailbox address where the messages are sent, and the mailbox can be accessed from anywhere and anytime. So if I am sending a email ID means email ID consists of a message box address. That message box address will store whatever the documents you are sending. Okay, and I can access it from sitting at any terminal, anywhere and anytime. Okay, it does not matter what type of connectivity the user is having, he will always be able to use this service. So whatever the connectivity you are using, connectivity means how you are connected to the internet is depends upon you. If you are using a smartphone, or if you are using a laptop, or if you are using a computer systems, it is left to you. By using that connectivity medium, you can able to use these services. One can receive and send email from all the systems, whether it is a Windows PC or Unix machine. So we can send and receive the email messages through from any computers with any kind of an operating system. It may be Windows operating system or Unix operating system or Android operating system. So we are using Android operating systems, right? Through from Android operating systems also we can access your emails. Not only this email, not only this, email can also be used to send documents, images, audio, video and so on as an attachment along with the mail. By using this email, you can send any kind of a documents which is in the form of a text, audio, video, graphics and so on. All these are possible by the attachment along with the mail. Okay, next application. What is the next application? File transfer protocol. Internet application is file transfer protocol. Short form is FTP. The FTP is a set of rules that enable a user to transfer file from one system to another. By using this FTP rule, it is a set of rules. If protocol is nothing but a rule, by using this, user can transfer file from one system to another system. So we can able to send the files from one system to another system. It was the first service developed for the internet so that government and educational institution could easily exchange files. So this is the first service developed for the internet. By using this first service developed for the internet, government and educational institution transfers or exchange their files. Okay, easily exchanging or easily transferring their files. It allows the user to get access to the files stored in the directory or a remote computer that is connected to the internet. By using this file transfer protocol, the user get to access a file stored in a directory means folders. Okay, so you can access any files which is located in the folders of a remote computer that is connected over the internet. If I connected my computer system and if I give the grant to access my files which is present in a folder, then it is possible to access my files by sitting at one terminal. Okay, using FTP, one can upload and download files from the remote computers known as FTP servers. Using file transfer protocol, one can upload or download. We can upload or download our files from a remote computers. That remote computers are nothing but an FTP server. So if I am uploading means I am a client. Okay, right. If he or she has access the permission on the remote system, if anyone is having access permissions, then he can upload or download the files from the remote machine by using this FTP protocol. Though files can be transferred using emails, this is not a good choice if the file size is large or when there are many files. So though we are transferring the files through the emails, this is not a good choice of file size is large or when there are many files. If your file capacity is larger and many files, it is unable to transfer through in emails, right? In your email it supports up to 25 MB. If it is exceeds, it is not possible. You have to upload your content in a drive and you have to send it. Okay, FTP sites can consist of hundreds to thousands of files with information on books, music, software, games, images, sounds, multimedia, courseware, etc. So that is why you have to use the FTP if your size is more than or larger and consist of many files. So hence these FTP sites consist of hundreds to thousands of files with information on books, music, software, games, images, sounds, multimedia, courseware, etc. Okay, so if you want to send large amount of information, then it is better to use an FTP. Okay, FTP can be done using the command prompt, browsers, and various graphical user based FTP software. These FTP file transfer protocol can be done by using your command prompt or a browser and various graphical user interface GUI. GUI stands for graphical user interface based file transfer protocol softwares. Next application is Telnet. Let us see what is the Telnet. The word Telnet is derived from telecommunications and network. Okay, where does the word Telnet is derived from? It has been derived from telecommunications and network and is a protocol that allows a user to log on to a remote computer. So by using this telecommunication and network, it is a short form is a Telnet. It is a one of kind of a protocol. By using this protocol, it allows a user to enter. Log means enter onto a remote computer. Okay, by using this protocol, user can enter login into remote computer. Telnet is also known as remote login. So then what is a Telnet? Telnet is also called as remote login, which means connecting one machine to another in such a way that a person may interact with another machine as if it is being used locally. So if your computer is turned on, you are not presented, but you have given the permission to access. It is just like as an what is that we are using nowadays as a Skype, right? Skype. Through Skype, what we can do, we can give the permission to access our computer, right? By sitting at your terminal, what you can do, you can access my computer files, okay? Or how we can able to see this, not as on a Skype, and one other option is there, telnet. No, what is that? One more option is there, I am forgetting that option. When I get that, I will explain. Remote access, just a minute, whether it is remote access. I forgot, what is that? Teamweaver. Okay, it is just like as in a Teamweaver. So then what we are going, by using the Teamweaver, by accessing the remote login system, we can access our files. So it is just like as in a telnet. Okay, yes, it means that someone in New Delhi could connect to a computer in the New York City public library and search the card catalogs the same way as someone located at a terminal in the library. So it is just like as in a Teamweaver. By using this Teamweaver, we are giving the control of our computer system wherever the user is sitting and accessing his data. Okay, yes. So here it is given. So a person is sitting in the New Delhi and connect to a computer in the New York City public library and search the card catalogs the same way as someone located at the terminal in the library. So someone is a player seated. If I am seated in my computer and you are seated in your computer, if you say you are not getting the output, then we will ask to connect your computer in a network, right? By using certain medium, that is a one of a telnet protocol. By using this telnet protocol, through from my system, I will log in into your system and I will identify what is the error. It is just like as in a Teamweaver. Okay, yes, or any device. These are the current apps, just like as in a telnet. Once connected, the user computer emulates a remote computer. If you connected once, until unless you terminate, connection will be established. When the user types in commands, they are executed on the remote computer. Whenever if I typed in my system, you can able to view in your systems. The users monitor display what is taking place on the remote computer during the telnet session. Also, the user monitor displays what is taking place on the remote computer during the telnet session. If I am connected in the telnet session, I can able to access your computer by sitting my home, and if you are sitting in America also, I can able to access your computer. Okay, so it is possible by because of this remote login protocols as well as telnet protocols. Okay, so here it is given your client machine and your operating system, your telnet client and internet. So by using your TCP/IP protocol, you are requesting through the internet and server will be responding. So both the computer system must be in login, both the computer system must be in turn on. If the both the computer system is a turn on, then if you are providing the request grant, then either a client or the server can access the remote system. If client want to access the remote system, server has to give the permission. If server want to access the client system, this internet client has to give the permission to the server. Okay, yes. The user computer which initiate the connection is referred to as local computer or telnet client. Whoever the computer user computer which initiates the connection is referred as a local computer or telnet client, and the machine being connected to which accept the connect is referred to as remote computer or telnet server. Okay, so one who is responding for our connection is called as a remote server. Yes. Commerce through the internet. So we are doing e-commerce, right? Today business is taking place through electronic telecommunication media. So nowadays business are taking place through your electronic telecommunication media. Nowadays, various organizations offer the facility of shopping online. This type of a business model is known as electronic commerce or e-commerce. E-commerce refers to buying and selling goods and service online. As you are familiar now, nowadays you are doing buying and selling of goods online. It is nothing but an e-commerce. It integrates communication, data management, and security capabilities, which allow organization to exchange information about sales of goods and services. So, by using this integrated communication, we can manage our data, and also it has to provide the great security capabilities. Also, the organization, whoever participating, they have to exchange the information about the sales of goods and services. Essentially, it is the end-to-end digital exchange of information need to conduct business including electronic data interchange, short form is EDI, and electronic fund transfer. It is EFT. So, it is an end-to-end digital exchange of information that needed to contact business including EDI, electronic data interchange, and electronic fund transfer, online payments. Okay, let us see what is EDA. EDI is the computer to computer exchange of routine business transaction including payment information exchange or purchase order request. So in this EDI, it is a computer to computer exchange of routines business transaction that including payment information exchange and purchase order request. Let us see EFT. EFT, electronic fund transfer, is a technology that allows the transfer of a fund from bank account of one person or organization to another. Okay, so this is EFT. So likewise, here EDI transfers through the internet through from web application. Yes, through the development of e-commerce, the internet has established an electronic global worldwide market that operates 24 hours and 365 days a year. So because of this e-commerce, it is based on online shoppings. It has been established for a 24 by 7 environment, and it will be work worldwide as a 365 day per year. Okay, organizations and individuals are Organizations and individuals are able to market goods and services while purchasing is supported by secure facilities such as digital signatures, the process that operate on a message to assure message source, authenticity and integrity and encryption. So by using this organization and individuals are able to market the goods and services while purchasing is supported by secure facilities such as digital signatures and encryptions. So while purchasing and selling online, it must give a good rapport to a seller and the organization. Also, it must give a good security facilities. That security facilities will be able to available through digital signatures and encryption techniques. Some of the well-known e-commerce sites are, as we know, http :/www.amazon.com, ebay.com, and so on. Okay, so all these are the some of a e-commerce site. The increased use of mobile devices such as personal digital assistants, short form is PDAs, and mobile phones has opened a new origin of profilerization in the electronic market and has a coined a new term, mobile commerce. Nowadays, this e-commerce has came into existence into the m-commerce. M-commerce stands for mobile commerce. So through from our mobiles, we can able to perform all these operations. Mobile commerce or m-commerce refers to the transaction through a mobile phone network and a data connection that result in the transfer of value in exchange for goods and services. Through this from m-commerce, we are performing the transaction through from mobile network and data connections over uh, mobile itself only. We can sell and purchase our goods and services through mobile itself only. Mobile commerce has evolved a new and simpler concept to operate financial transaction through mobile phones, and it includes services such as banking, payments, and ticketing. So, because of this growth of m-commerce, mobile commerce has evolved a new financial transaction. We can able to provide the it has provide the services such as bankings, payments, and ticketing. It can be able to provide these services through your mobiles. We will continue the rest internet application in the next class.